Time Warner Cable's Local Edition. My name is Brad Pomerance. I'm glad you're with us. Our guest is Laura Richardson. She's a member of the United States Congress. And I want to speak with you about an issue in the news, unexpected, I think it's fair to say. And it's as a result of a congressman. You serve with him. He's now the Republican nominee for Senate in Missouri. And he made a statement about how women who are subjected to legitimate rape will not become pregnant because their bodies will shut down. What are you hearing in your district about that statement? And you're essentially a coastal district.
Well, first of all, Brad, thank you for having me here on Time Warner. And I think what was particularly disturbing about the comments was really a lack of factual knowledge. Any doctor that I know of all the hospitals, and I actually have 5 in my district, I don't know of a single doctor that says that if a woman is being raped, that suddenly her body subconsciously can shut it down. You know, that goes back to the old wives' tales of you can't, you know, if you kiss someone, you know, are you going to get pregnant? I mean, that kind of communication is really goes beyond the pale of what a member of Congress should be communicating to the public.
Presumably you know him, Mr. Aiken. And
I do.
Tell us about him. I mean, were you surprised by this statement from him?
Well,
is he thoughtful?
He and I oftentimes walk from votes because we're both on that side of the house. And I'm in the Longworth building, and I've walked with him many times. I think what the public got a chance to see was a snapshot of the ideological differences that are going on in Congress. And that some people very strongly believe in the right for choice, and some people strongly believe in the right for life.
Which we don't take that away from them. You know, look, these are very deeply felt views. I guess, though, what it brought up was legislation that has been proposed dealing with what we know as forcible rape. What is forcible rape? What does that legislation mean?
Well, in my mind, it is actually an abomination to women, and it doesn't mean anything, and that's why it's not going to go anywhere, because rape is rape, as has now been said by President Obama and others. If a person is raped, it doesn't matter whether they're screaming, whether they're kicking, whether they're fighting back, or whether they're reluctantly, you know, holding their breath and just hoping that it's going to be over and that the person is going to leave them alive. Rape is rape. Rape is a forced action, an unwanted, solicited effort of another person on someone else. And so to me, there is no gray line in rape. Rape is a forcible act within itself.
Now, as I understand it, Paul Ryan, who is the vice presidential nominee on the Republican side, has been a supporter of this notion of forcible rape. Presumably you know him as well. I mean, he's a colleague in the House. What's the underpinning of this idea that we need to redefine rape?
Well, I think, unfortunately, there is a stretch to be able to justify an ideological position, which is to say that life begins at the moment of conception, and to say that irregardless of how that conception occurred, that life would be protected. And I think when you bring into the question of incest, when you bring into the question of rape, that's when it becomes very difficult to justify requiring a woman not to have the right to choose, with the advice upon her doctor, of what's the best thing for her health. And so I think this whole thing of forcible rape, incest, was really a way of trying to keep away from dealing with the facts that a woman has the right to choose what happens with the care of her body and for the child that she covers. And so that's where I think it got really gray and off track, and there was an attempt to say, well, if it was forced, if it's incest, well, maybe then it's okay in this case. And in all cases, the bottom line is the ability, a woman, I believe, should have the right to choose.
Laura Richardson, thanks for joining us. My name is Brad Pomerance. Thanks for watching Time Warner Cable's Local Edition.